Azorius Artifacts versus the Virtuous Ducamp. Ducamp. But I want to be the virtuous one. Alright, green elves. Alright, what are we up against? Snare, Bay, front. Pretty good, I would say. Are they gonna attack? Alright, I'll take it out. Even if it's just an elf. This is... I can repurpose this. Let's use the opportunity to play the Bay. On an empty board. Alright, front. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect hit. Yep, I agree. I agree. So that was the perfect hit, and that's nice. That's the thing about the Battlefront. If you find the synthesizer with another 3 mana or more artifact, or basically 3 mana, then you will get the trigger, the scry trigger, and you'll instantly get a construct as well from the synthesizer. So because they enter at the same time, that's kind of how the triggering works. All right, so yeah, pretty straightforward, decisive victory here for Azorius Artifacts. On to the next game. Azorius Artifacts versus the Uber Noob. Yep, this works too. This is white. That's fine. I have access to the lockdown if I need it. I have Perilous Snare. Ooh, I don't. So what I'm afraid of most is probably the Annex. Ooh, taking the Bay. I'm surprised. A little bit surprised. Don't show them, don't give the opponent more info than they need to have. And pass the turn. Alright, no Annex, but a Slasher. Alright, do I risk going for Battlefront? I think I do. Alright, I found the Aegis, which can get rid of the Slasher, and then I'll take a Clay-Fired Bricks. Which is also pretty good. I'm being a little greedy here. I'm kind of assuming that every Battlefront I play, I will either hit an Aegis or a Snare. But obviously that you could whiff as well. That's a possibility. Opponent has Demon. Alright, there's an Archfiend. Which I will have to snare. Unfortunately, I can't synthesize first. Or can I? Yeah, let's do it. I'll take 6. I'm okay with a Vault too. So I'm taking damage here, but the reason I did it is because I do want to ensure getting... Oh. Now I'm paying the price here heavily. Heavily paying the price. for not immediately snaring there. Okay, but I can lock down into snare, so we're good. We're good. Alright, so lockdown, and then I'll get back the snare. And we are still okay here. Okay, but my entire hand is on the battlefield. Okay, that's not too bad. I can actually Aegis. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. I don't want either of those. I'm gonna attack. I'm not even gonna. I could turn this thing into a slasher, but I don't want to spend the mana here. I want to Vault. Fomori Vault. A blood letter. Okay. The Sawblade is actually can deal with that, but I'm gonna discard it. I'm gonna look at top 5 and take nothing, not really better. I can use the Anchorage though to chump block the blood letter if I really need to. A Repurposing Bay is actually not that crazy good here. I prefer more Aegises or snares, to be honest. But let's attack. We are just the 3/8/8s are also pretty strong, obviously. However, I'm not in safe waters yet. A bloodletter attacking can be problematic. They will now need to spend mana. Okay, sure. I will take 4. But now, let's see how much more removal they put. I'm going to keep that in hand for the Fomori Vault here. Alright, gotcha. Just the sheer power and toughness of these constructs, able to secure victory here, putting down a clock that is faster than the opponent can deal with. So yeah, I didn't make that one mistake, let's say, where I was greedy and didn't play the snare. I played the synthesizer first. Luckily the lockdown was then able to deal with the bat, and then get back my snare. So when they stole the snare with the bat, I had a small moment of oopsies, but still able to win in the end. On to the next game. Azorius Artifact versus Cash. I would love some cash in my cash. Yeah, this is fine. Land number 4 is okay. It's not. Yeah, it works. I mean, I need land sooner or later anyway. Okay, double swamp into bat. Well, that's okay. Nothing spectacular because I have 2 snares. That makes this not as devastating. But another duress now would be problematic. And I'm also putting myself into the head of my opponent, and I'm thinking, what would I take? I would... Tough choice, honestly. Not an easy choice. Okay, taking that. Alright, let's repurpose here. Just sending... yeah, using my mana here, setting up, because I wouldn't be doing anything anyway. So that was a good one. That's also fine. Now I can... Oh, this is perfect. I can bricks and then bricks into snare. Or I'll take the Aegis. Because the snare can deal with non-creatures as well. The Aegis can only deal with creatures. So that's an important difference. Yep, they're gonna get 1 trigger out of that, but then I'm gonna remove that immediately. That's the most painful card for me to see. The most problematic card. That's great. Unfortunately, I can't play it before Perilous Snaring. I have to take the Annex out immediately. It's good that I'm not under a lot of pressure yet. The lockdown is not so great against mono black, but it can take out the bat soon. That's also nice for them, but I'm gonna take the lockdown. I'm gonna discard the lockdown, and then I'm gonna play the next snare, and then I'm starting to run out of things to do. Let's draw in. If I draw... Oh, that I was just gonna say, if I draw into an untapped land, this would be amazing, and I did. Because now I'll get the token as well. And any lands can go to the bottom, even if it's a Fountainport. And I think now we are in pretty decent, pretty good shape, even.
I know when I'm not wanted.
Alright, now they have probably have some removal spells in hand. Good news is go for the throat also doesn't work here. That's a problem. But that's... I was a top deck. Top amazing top deck here. Let's go for an Aegis and bricks. The reason I'm taking the bricks is because I can immediately repurpose them into another synthesizer or leave it up and find a Perilous Snare afterwards. All right, nice. Another decisive victory for Azorius artifacts. Now, if the opponent had duress, maybe at some point early, in addition to the bat, maybe things could have become a little bit more complicated. And I did draw pretty well as well. So, but a victory nonetheless. No excuses. Azorius artifacts versus Lil Snack. I'll keep it. Got decent lands. I'll keep that on top too. Okay, I can take Tifa or the like. Let's just play this out. It's not really gonna do much in this matchup. I need like wow. Okay, this is gonna hurt like hell, but I can take it out next. Oh, am I dead? No, I'm not dead. Almost. Almost dead, but not dead. Okay. Well, that doesn't have haste, luckily. Do I snare or do I Battlefront? I think I'm gonna Battlefront. And I completely whiffed. No. Yeah. I did. Now things are looking pretty grim. Yeah, Tifa as well. So that was a pretty bad Battlefront there. Oh, that's pretty good though. Whew. Okay. All right, synthesizer. Wow, that lockdown came in just in time. I'll keep the Sawblades and another synthesizer on top, but I'm gonna shuffle now anyway. But I do want to do this. I'm gonna shuffle away the other bay, so should have probably done this before I played this, because I wasted the scry here, but fine. Alright, but I can just draw into another one myself. I'll take the bricks because of the life gain. And also repurposability. Alright, and next turn I'm representing lethal. So wow, that was the most timely lockdown I have probably ever seen. I'm not sure the opponent can produce haste. Phew. Alright, let's do this first. And let's repurpose it immediately into a Aegis. And attack for lethal. All right. Wow. Yeah, that was close. That was very close. So yeah, lucky top deck there. After a pretty mediocre to bad United Battlefront. But yeah, I'll take the victory and head to the next game, which is the final game of today's run. Onwards. Azorius Artifacts versus the brilliant Mike the Strike. This works out. I'm going to start with the tap land, not turn 1 lantern. A mountain. Okay, goblins. So what we are looking for is temporary lockdown. They run the scamp. I'm gonna keep up the blades. This. All right, haste. I mean, they're that. Oh, sure. Get rid of this one because that will gain double strike soon. And now I need to use the Aegis immediately on the engineer to prevent a drag. Or so. Or we can again just draw into temporary lockdown. Why not? Now this deck, the only kind of thing you have is you often really want to play the synthesizer, but you can't because you have to get rid of things first. But yeah, with a Cranko, I cannot just leave it on the board. One, two, three, four. Okay, I'm gonna be greedy here again. Both is good. I'll take the Sawblades first. Okay, not too bad from the opponent's perspective. But now I will... Next turn I will find a synthesizer will create something big for me. Oh, that's not a goblin, by the way. The headliner creates creates warriors, not goblins, so they don't get the buff from the Horde Master. But as you can see, the goblins can pose a little bit more of a threat here, even with the lockdown. Okay. Oh, I can actually... No, I can't. I can play a Bay and a Snare. Or I can... Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's get rid of the Horde Master. Yeah, I know. Oh, the Krenko! Pretty good. But I have an answer for that. I can repurpose and then get rid of the blades into another Aegis. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to go for the Battlefront here this time. Get myself another Aegis. Get rid of the Krenko. And now I think we are pretty good. In very good shape with the Battlefront in as backup and 12 health. Okay, well, they can't create a dragon instantly here. And yep, the opponent has seen enough. So thanks again to Temporary Lockdown. A timely lockdown really helping to stabilize here. And then, yeah, once the synthesizer is down, then almost every artifact you play will create huge creatures. So then also you will usually stabilize and continue playing so you can attack while keeping the ones that have summoning sickness back and attack with the ones that don't, kind of that way. But yeah, all right, 5-0 Azorius artifacts. Great deck, good choice to play at the moment. Definitely strong deck, able to fit in a lockdown, which is still a very important card in the current meta, but more of that in the recap. So, welcome to the recap. Let me sort the lands a little bit here. So, what do we have? We have the core of the deck being Perilous Snare, United Battlefront, Repurposing Bay, and Simulacrum Synthesizer. I think those 4 cards are undisputed and need to be in the deck no matter what. The Battlefront, I think, yeah, there's so many targets in this deck. Basically, almost every card which is not a land and maybe not the Simulacrum is a valid target here. So that's already a good starting point for the deck. Synthesizer is the engine, is the win con, and yeah, okay, valid. I need to think about this, because if the opponent finds a way to get rid of your synthesizer, the game's basically over. I mean, you have the clay-fired bricks, which can turn into a Cosmium Kiln, which then you have the Anchorage and the Simulacrum, but that's a very slow way to, and really not effective way. And then you have the fish as well. So there is ways, but it's not ideal. So be aware that the synthesizer is your main key to victory here. So yeah, be aware of decks which can remove cards from your deck, such as the Stone Brain. So in the mirror match, this is definitely what you want to target. The Stonebrain as a one-off is pretty good, I think, because it can deal with Azorius Omniscience, it can deal with the Mirror Match, it can deal maybe with Jace-based decks. Yeah, as long as you know the opponent's deck well and know which kind of key cards they have. Like the Annex, hitting the Annex is nice. So yeah, there's... this requires a little bit of kind of knowledge and understanding of the meta, but it's a good one-off, I would say. And then we have also two one-offs here in the form of Graveyard Interaction. Both have their pros and cons. The Vacuum is an ongoing interaction with the graveyard. The Soul Guard Lantern is more of a one-off, but it can cycle. Also, both of these can be hit with the Battlefront, which can be pretty relevant in some situations. Alright, what else do we have? We have the 2-drops. So this is a removal spell, a pretty good one. Actually, 5 damage for 2 is pretty strong, but can only hit tapped creatures, so be aware of that. The Clay-Fired Bricks. Also 2 mana, gain 2 life, find the plains, pretty good value. But more importantly, both of these can be repurposed by the Repurposing Bay into snares, aegises, or a synthesizer. So that's the big upside of having those. And then last but not least, you have the Solemn Simulacrum as a kind of top end, because the Repurposing Bay can only find artifacts with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value. So the max you have is 3, and then in order to be able to also sack an Aegis or a duplicate Repurposing Bay, you can that's why the Simulacrum is in there, because you can fetch that in those cases, and it'll also trigger the synthesizer while finding a land, and when it dies, drawing a card. So a great value engine here in the Simulacrum. Alright, so yeah, good core. What I love about this deck is the Perilous Snare, which deals with non-land permanents, which is very important. It can deal with things like the Unholy Annex, or any other enchantments or artifacts. So that makes this card particularly strong. Land-wise, we have the Fountainport, which can create tokens, fish, or treasures, which increase potentially the constructs created by the synthesizer, or just value. And then you have the Fomori Vault, which is also pretty nice, because in the mid to late game, if you have a Fomori Vault, you can discard lands and exchange them for other types of cards. So that's a good card selection, card draw engine, card cycling engine, let's say. Yeah, and there you have it. 5-0 today's run. Very happy about it. Do like the deck a lot. Oh, last but not least, Temporary Lockdown. 4 of. Honestly, I think this is super important. This card is super strong at the moment, with goblins around, with Selesnya rabbits around. So it's definitely your main protection against the low curve creature decks, and it can be found with the Battlefront as well, which is key. But yeah, without on that note, any one of us could be compromised, said Karn. No one leaves until we know who can be trusted. And on that note, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.